But what about people who come into this life that were born healthy, but it was the mistakes of their parents or something? Like,
great question.
A baby comes into life and they have fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yes.
They were born with a good heart, but their parents were the one that made the mistake.
Oh, this is just so good. Let me answer that question by saying this. What caused that baby to have fetal alcohol syndrome? Was it the baby's fault?
No.
Nope. But it was still one defining factor, and that was sin. Sin messes up everything. That's the problem with the world. Sin messed it up. See, sin is the greatest problem that humanity has. It's like a disease that cannot be cured by you being a good person. It can't be cured by you wishing it or meditating. The only person that can cure sin is the one who died for it.
But what if that baby grew up in a church and does believe in God and actively participates and believes and has his faith, but still has that fetal alcohol syndrome, or someone born with Down syndrome, or things like that? It's not necessarily under their control, even if they do have faith and follow. And
so I know what you're asking. You're asking, man, if God is a loving God, how can he let all of these people be born with fetal alcohol syndrome?
No, that is not what I'm asking. I'm
what
just saying, it's not. I'm not saying why does the world the way it is.
Okay.
I'm not asking why is people the way they are. I'm just saying, like, how is it their fault? Like, even if they do have, like,
it's not their fault.
Right. So then, like, why are they wrong? Why is that wrong?
It's not,
why are they under sin? Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying. It's because of somebody else's sin. Like, have you ever done something like evil to somebody and caused somebody to suffer?
Sure.
Everybody has. You see what I'm saying? Whose fault was it? Was it their fault or your fault?
Right.
It was your fault. So sometimes sin is so destructive that it causes other people to suffer. My daddy was an alcoholic and a drug addict. Man, he destroyed my entire family.
But why does one person dying on a cross make it sin like relieved if you follow a faith? You know what I mean? Like, why?
Because think about it. It's like a disease that you cannot cure.
What makes that any different than, like, if you were to follow a different faith? What if it wasn't Christianity? What if you followed Catholicism or Buddhism?
Here's the difference between Jesus and every other religion. You can't even put Jesus in the same category as religion. Now, let me tell you why. What does every other religion say you have to do to get to heaven?
I don't know.
Be a good person.
Sure.
Jesus says nobody's good. That's why you need me.
So he's a narcissist. Nobody is greater than him.
Narcissist? That's a great question. Think about him not as a narcissist, but a man who loves broken people. He's not
but I like helping people with mental health, but I don't think I'm better than everybody, and what I say goes, and I determine sin, like I determine what's not sin, and follow me because I'm all great and all powerful and almighty. But
well, how did Jesus come? Did he come on a royal throne? You know how Jesus came?
No.
The Bible says that he was born to a 15, 16-year-old girl. She was a virgin. Her name was Mary.
Yeah, but where did God come from?
Where did God? That's a great question. I can't answer that question. I have no idea where God came from.
So then how do we know that he was the one who... Was he a physical person?
He became a man. I'll give you an illustration.
Okay, but where did he come from?
He was always in the beginning. The Bible says he was in the beginning.
Okay, but
always.
The Milky Way and the galaxy was in the beginning. Like, I'm not trying to compare science
this is good. This is good. Yeah, I love this.
Like you said, nothing's 100%. Like, what if somebody was just really great at telling stories and some guy just happened to be crucified on a cross?
You could have been right. It could have been. Let me tell you why he came. You got a goldfish or a dog or something like that?
Yeah.
What you got?
A dog.
All right. I had 2 goldfish, and every time I'll come and clean that goldfish out, that goldfish, like the fish will run in the stuff. Like it never got used to me.
They don't run, but okay.
They run, right? So how would those goldfish ever know that I'm really taking care of their tank every day? I'm feeding them every day. They don't understand humanity because I'm not a fish.
How do you know that though? How do you know that the fish don't have some kind of way?
Maybe so, but they were afraid of me. But I'm gonna tell you how those fish would know who I am. If I became a fish, and I would explain to the fish as best I know how that person that's take care of the tank, he really cares for you. Look at how he's designed, you know.
So you think that you can transform into something else?
Well, this is what God did.
But if you're talking about coming from a human body and turning into a fish to talk to this fish to tell them that you are taking care of them,
that's right.
You're saying that I could turn into a God and see God.
No. This is what God did so we can understand God. Without Jesus, we will never understand this God. He became a man 2,000 years ago, and he died for the sin of the world. This is why we understand who God is based on Jesus, because if you tried to go to God, do you honestly think you can understand him?
No, but how did God send Jesus? If God is not a physical being, how did Jesus just happen to pop up from a virgin named Mary?
He decided the time and place that he would come. The Old Testament, if you read the Old Testament of the Bible, it talked about something is coming to save humanity. Then the New Testament, he comes in the form of a virgin. And he was born in a feeding trough. That he came so humbly. He came like people were spitting on him, calling him names. And the religious leaders, the people of the pastors of the churches of that day would say, man, we need to get rid of Jesus because he's messing up. He's messing up the way we're trying to tell people to go to heaven. Those religious leaders will tell people, you have to like pray 5 times a day, you got to do all these things, you got to keep 600 rules, and Jesus comes and blows it up and says, no. Nobody, they can't do all of those things. They need to follow me because I'm the one that can take them to heaven. They can't take themselves. So Jesus lifted the oppression of the religious people. See, right now,
I thought you couldn't compare God to religion.
Like, Jesus was not very religious at all.
Okay.
He as a matter of fact, religious people who hung him on the cross. So Jesus didn't come for religion. He came from a relationship. What's the difference? What's the difference between a religion and a relationship? I'll tell you. You see my 3 chocolate kids over here?
Sure.
Man, they break stuff around the house all the time.
Okay.
Who keeps paying for it?
Not them.
Me. They're not in a religion with me. They're in a relationship. If they were in a religion with me, they would be scared. If they didn't keep all the rules, they would be what? Kicked out of the house. No. Man, I know they're not going to be perfect. But they do have a daddy that loves them. And it's not, my love for them is not based on their actions. My love for them is because I love them. They don't give us look, they add nothing to our family. As a matter of fact, we got to spend money on them. They break stuff around the house. But you know what? I still love them, not based on them. It's based on us. So they keep breaking stuff, but I keep paying for it. Same thing with Jesus. Religion says you have to try to be good enough to pay that God off so you can get into heaven. Jesus says no. It's not about a religion. I love you, and even though you'll never be perfect, I love you, and I will deal with your brokenness. That's what happened to me. See, religion is going to screw you up. That's why a lot of people that are religious, they out of religion in 7 years because they realize, like, I can't keep all these rules. But Jesus says, I know you can't. That's why you need me. I'm a perfect father. I discipline my kids when they step out of line because I love them. They're not trying to earn my love. It's unconditional. That's Jesus. What you think?
That was good. That was good. Very compelling story there.
You are so sweet.
That was good. That was good. Very compelling story there.
You are so sweet. This is the kind of stuff right here that Jesus did all the time with people that was hard to believe in him, but he just kept reasoning with them because he loved them. I don't even know y'all, but I am in love with y'all. I don't even know you. You know why? It's because I was like you guys, lost and trying to figure it out. Somebody loved me enough to reason with me, and you know what? He convinced me, man. And it was a white guy. I'll show it to you. One day. So I never did understand Jesus until I took a stick, and I took that stick and I started vandalizing the community that the church was in. I never did touch the church. I just started vandalizing all the properties in the community, and they caught myself on camera, and they said, your family is gonna have to pay for the damages. You think my family had the money? Man, we were so broke. If somebody robbed us, they'll just be practicing. There was no way we could pay it. My family had, I thought I was finna go to prison. But you know what happened? My bald head grandpa, white guy, found out, and I was crying coming to church one day. He's like, what's wrong, son? I said, man, they called me. I'm finna ready to get the electric chair, because you know, I'm a little kid. He says, Tommy, what happened? He reprimanded me. He says, you know what, the church will pay for the damages. And I said, well, why would you do that for me? I have nothing to offer you. Why would you pay for my damages? He says, because that's what Jesus did for you on the cross. You messed it up, and Jesus paid the fine. And if you'll be willing to give your life to him, T, man, he'll change your life. I gave my heart to Jesus that day, and I ain't never been the same since. I have not been the same since. Like, am I perfect? Absolutely not. But I'm willing to be perfected. Am I sinless? Nope. But I do sin less. I don't sin like I used to. When I realized how much God loved me, even though I didn't deserve it, man, I ran out to Jesus. I wanted to kill myself just like you did. But when Jesus gave me light, now I'm trying to light everybody else up. I may never see you again. I'll probably never see y'all again. But one thing I do know, that if you a light on to Jesus, man, I'll see you again. I'm telling you, I'll give you one last illustration. I'll leave y'all alone. One last illustration. Y'all mind if I give y'all one last illustration? Y'all are so sweet. I want you to imagine you guys just